guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together. It has been 3 months since my last confession. No, 3 months since I did my planner setup video, so I thought I was due an update, particularly seeing as my setup has changed slightly. The biggest change being that I have moved out of the Filofax Charleston and into the Filofax Malden. The main reason for that is that the Charleston is a compact, whereas the Malden is a personal. So straight away you can see the difference in terms of ring size. So much bigger rings on the Malden. I didn't think I would last long in the Malden, but actually I've been using it now for a few weeks and I really like it. If you've watched my previous planner setup video, you'll know that one of the main reasons I loved the Charleston was this pocket here, which I used to keep notes in, cash, and I really love that for just quick access. The Malden doesn't have that, it doesn't have anything similar, so I didn't think I would last long in it, but like I said, it has been going well for me now for a few weeks. So I'm going to do a really quick run through of my new setup. So this is the Ochre Malden in a personal size. I also have the A5 size, which I haven't actually used, but I really like it. Really soft and squishy, really grainy leather. The first time that I took it out with me in my bag, it got this scuff mark on it. Normally this would cause palpitations for me, but because it's a really grainy leather, this doesn't bother me. It's that type of leather that just, you know, looks better with age. The more crinkles and scuffs and marks it has on it, the better it looks, I think. So I'm not overly concerned. It's had a few other little marks and dings over the past few weeks, but still holding up really well. I think my only concern with it would be if the leather itself got scratched, you know, like a permanent scratch. But so far so good. So I'm going to open it up and do a quick run through for you. It's not going to be as detailed as my previous planner setup video. If you're interested in seeing stuff in a lot of detail, then go back and watch that video. I will link to it in the description box below. But that was just long and rambly, so I'm hoping to keep this reasonably short. So this is the inside. The little zip here I use to keep coins. Slightly awkward in that if I'm out and about and I'm holding it and I need to get coins, I kind of have to fold this backwards. So that's a little bit awkward. I would prefer if the zip was here, like the Charleston. It's got the little pocket here, and I just think it's for access it's much easier, but anyway, it's here and it has been a little bit frustrating, but I've been working with it. It hasn't been too bad. So then you've got a long pocket here, and that I just have a business card in. It's too shallow for notes, really, certainly euro notes. So this has generally gone unused, apart from this little business card that I just threw in the other day. Here then you've got 4 card pockets. So I've just got 3 cards and some stamps, and then here you've got a long pocket. Again, as is the problem I find with most planners, these long pockets are so close to the rings that they're not really practical. Certainly for notes, if you're going to use it as a wallet, it's just a little too awkward to dig around in here. But for storing papers or maybe stickers or things like that, it's totally fine. But just for notes, for me, it wasn't going to work. I do have a $1 note in here. That's something I keep with me at all times. So I'm going to flick to the back. The first change that I've done is, in my previous setup I used to keep all my wallet stuff, my cards and things, at the front of the planner, whereas now I've moved them to the back. And the reason I've done that is because I found that the cards, these card holders kind of sometimes were a little bit tight on the rings, and it used to be a little bit awkward to turn them. So when I needed my calendar, it was just awkward to turn these, the card pockets, to get them out of the way basically. So I moved them to the back, so it's much easier for me to just flick over the calendar now. So that's one little update I've made just from using the planner. It's kind of a little upgrade I've given it. So I haven't changed this setup much, obviously again just covering personal information, but cards I keep here along with a picture of my daughter. I did definitely notice, so you can fit 3 cards on either side. I did notice that if there was only one card in the top, the other card would slide out really easily, and I almost lost a card several times because of that. Because there is normally a card that goes here that I don't always keep with me. I share it with my husband, so sometimes he would take it. So sometimes there would only be one card in this top pocket. So what I have done is moved the card that was here up to here, and that has stopped. So now there are 2 cards in this top pocket, and that stops them sliding out. So this one is currently empty, but on this side it doesn't, the sliding issue isn't as big a deal. Here they just slide out really, really easily. So that's it. Again, I've just turned some of these around. They're ID. Again, just they have horrible pictures on them, so I've covered those. So travel card, library card, and my pass to Dublin Zoo. Again, same as previous setup. A pocket here just for supermarket coupons. Another pocket for coupons for other stores. So this is for a chemist. And then some vouchers. Again, none of that has changed since the previous one. I'm still looking for more of these because I have a lot of loyalty cards and stuff that actually I haven't, they're in my old wallet and I haven't really needed them in a long time. So the search for these extra pocket holders kind of fell by the wayside. It wasn't as urgent as I thought it would be. So my most frequently used loyalty card I just keep up here at the front. Other ones that I use frequently for the supermarket are actually attached to my keys, and they're just little fobs on my keys. So the search for these holders has actually just been put on the long finger for now. Same 2 of these zip pockets at the back. This one usually carries cash and notes, but I'm broke at the minute. I have spent all my money. So this is now empty, but normally notes are in here, and then just one for receipts. And I keep that one generally open so I can just slip in receipts. And then my little unicorn clip that I keep with me at all times. Again, at the back there's this another long pocket. Again, kind of fiddly, too awkward for notes, certainly for me anyway. But again, for papers, stickers, sticky notes, things like that, you could certainly use it for that. There is a pocket here as well. Again, I don't generally use it, but sometimes I will stick my phone in here. My phone fits in here. There's lots of space in this pocket. I mean, because this is really floppy, it's not really sturdy at all. There's plenty of give in it. So I generally pop my phone, which I have here, I generally pop that in and bring it with me. So that is it in terms of the wallet part of it. I suppose the biggest change is that I have taken out, see, this is where these are awkward to turn. They get stuck on the rings and I'm not sure why. It just seems that the holes for these inserts, these little pocket inserts, are slightly they're not spaced according to these rings. They're just a little bit tighter, so it just takes, it's just awkward to turn basically. Anyway, the biggest change is that I took out all of the sections apart from the calendar. So the only section I have in here now is literally my calendar. If you watched the previous video, you'll know that I had a monthly tracker in it, which worked really, really well for me for a few months. But the stuff that was on it that I wanted to track actually has now become a habit. So I do those things now without even thinking. So I found that the tracker wasn't necessarily really helping me with anything. So I got rid of it. Another thing I had was a health tracker, which I also got rid of. My health has improved slightly in some areas. But it started to become more of a chore to track, my exercise and what I was eating and stuff. So I've just made a general resolution to eat better and exercise more, as I think 99% of the population does. And the final section was a spending tracker. Again, I got rid of that. It did help me see where I was spending a lot of money, but I find with me, I go through phases. I either don't spend a lot of money at all, or I then binge and buy lots kind of all at once. So right now I'm not buying that much at all. So the spending tracker, I didn't really need to keep an eye on my finances as much. So I got rid of that as well. I also changed out my ruler. If you remember, the last one only had a top tab on it, and I much prefer to flick up from the bottom, so I put in the ruler that has the bottom tab on it. So still the same cover page. This is from the Filofax Willow. It's the cover sheet that comes with that. Nothing new or starting there. I still haven't filled in this personal information sheet. That is still on my to-do list. So then if we flick to today, again, in terms of setup, you'll see from the last one, I don't decorate. I kind of gave up on all of that. I just found it too distracting, too time consuming. So I went back to basics with it, just a black Bic pen. And that is still, actually, here is the pen that goes in the little pen loop here. And that is a Bic Crystal Fine pen. There you go. So that just slips in there. Again, very basic. I just write things in kind of as they occur to me. So no decoration. I did think after the last video that I might kind of jazz it up a bit and add some colours and stuff. But actually this was working out so well for me that I didn't want to mess with it. The only thing I have done is that sometimes now I kind of do some lettering. So for here, Powers Court, that was a spa that I went to for the day. So I just I knew it was taking up the whole day. So I just wrote it in some nice lettering, kind of put a border around it. And that's pretty much the only decoration I have in it. The only other thing would be, I would sometimes put a sticker if something is very important. I'll put a little sticker beside it. And that is basically it. So nothing has really changed there. What I have done is most of the Filofaxes come with some form of notepaper, and I found this in the back of one of them. Now I very rarely use the notepaper that comes with Filofaxes, but I found this because one of the problems I was having when I was writing is just that I was writing, it was starting to slant and stuff, and I didn't like that at all. I don't generally like lines on my inserts, but I do like to write straight. So I've put this page in behind my pages, so it actually, you can see there that it does show through. The Filofax pages are so thin that it shows through. So it just means that when I'm writing then I can write in a reasonably straight line. What I'm going to do is laminate this and then put little slits beside the holes so that it will act almost like the ruler, that I can just peel it out and then pop it in. Because I'm finding right now if I need to write on something in a week or two's time that I'm having to kind of open the rings, move this, put it in behind. So I want to make this much easier to move and to just be a little bit more durable. So I'm going to laminate that or stick some contact paper or something on it, and then just make little slits from the ring holes to the outside of the paper, so that I can just peel it out and put it in wherever I need it. And that's basically it. The only other change I have made, because I've gone to a personal and the rings are so much bigger, and because I've taken out all my other sections, I can now also fit a calendar for 2016 in here. So I have 2015 and 2016 in here. I mean, obviously I don't really need the entire year of 2016 in here, but it's there anyway. Like I said, the setup has been working really well for me. I did consider going back into the Charleston Compact, but it's been working well for me. Before I put in the 2016 inserts, it was quite thin. I mean, that's 2015, the entire year of 2015 right there, which wasn't taking up that much space at all. And if you follow me on Instagram, and there will be a link to my Instagram account in the description box below, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I recently took this out and actually had a book tucked into it. So before I had the 2016 inserts, I was able to put a book here, and the whole thing still closed up really nicely. I was able to fit the 2015 inserts and a book. The strap on it is really, really long. There's loads and loads of room because, as I said, it's really kind of floppy leather. There's just so much room in there, so many opportunities for stuffing. So yes, sometimes I pop a little book in here if it's quite a thin book, or like I said, my phone will go in this back pocket. But that's it. I'm really, really happy with it so far. What I did do with it, my old one, I was kind of using the calendar to pop in some information about my blog, whereas now I have transferred that to a blog planner. So I am using the Filofax Original in Nude as my blog planner. So I've kind of transferred all that stuff out. So again, I did consider changing to a week on one page. I generally don't have that much going on, but then there are some weeks that I'm quite busy. So I kind of decided just to stick with the week on 2 pages. And again, because I'm now in a personal, it's not so much an issue. Like in the compact, it was getting quite tight in terms of space. But as I said, I now have 2 years worth in here. So I don't think there's any need for me to reduce down. This is working really well for me. I can't see myself putting in extra sections, putting back in sections I had in here or anything like that. I think the only thing I would do maybe is add some note paper in the back. I have a doctor's appointment next week, and I know I'll want to take notes for that. So instead of bringing an extra notepad or whatever, I think I'll just add some note paper into the back here, and then I can just scribble some notes kind of on the go. And I think that's really the only update I will do to this setup. This is working really well for me. Some things are a little bit fiddly, like the coins, like the cash. I don't really like having it in this kind of thing, but this is easier for me than these awkward pockets. I did kind of keep it in here for a while, but because this is so open, I was just very conscious of the fact that it could very easily slide out. So the zip pockets they're just working out a little better for me, but I'm still looking for a much better solution. But that is everything. I hope you enjoyed the new setup. Again, I'm going really back to basics with everything. I don't want to overcomplicate anything. This is really working for me, so I can't see why I would change it. I know I did change from my Charleston, so I think it is important to try new things every now and again, and they may work out for you, as the Malden is currently working out for me. But I think sometimes simplest is best, and that's definitely what I found now with the calendar, with getting rid of all the decoration and stickers and washi tape and things like that. For me, function is the most important thing. Once I have function down, then I can consider adding in kind of pretty elements to it. But for now it's working really well and I'm going to stick with it, but I'm sure the setup will change again and I will probably have another setup video for you in another 3 months time. But for now, working out really well for me. I'd really love to see pictures of your setup, so maybe tag me on Instagram or stick them on the Facebook page, tweet them to me. There'll be links to all the social media sites down below. But I'd really love to see pictures of your planners and your setups. And if you have kind of any questions, any feedback, maybe any suggestions for things I could do differently, definitely leave them in the comments below. I try and answer everyone. I can't promise that I will take your suggestions on board if they don't work for me, but I'm definitely open to hearing suggestions and feedback. So thanks a million for watching. As I said, there will be links to other videos and social media sites in the description box below, and leave any comments. Thanks a million. Bye.